What's up, everybody? Frangrams here, and today I want to talk about this little cool, not even little, why did I say little? It's a big interview with big answers to some big questions relating to the Pikmin world. A bunch of Pikmin developers sat down, including Miyamoto, and they all just went around talking about Pikmin as a franchise, why it came to be, how it came to be, stuff like that. Details that we didn't know up until today, basically. That is, if I post a video the day the news article came out. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just going to talk about the highlights of this interview and stuff that really stood out to me. So let's get into it. So in this interview, one of the developers / designers of the first Pikmin game by the name of Junji Mori, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, I'm trying my best, okay? He said that the whole style of Pikmin, or at least part of the style, is inspired by Tim Burton movies and characters, which is, I would have never thought about that, but the way he explains it makes sense. He wanted the world of Pikmin to not only feel cute, but eerie. And being a longtime Pikmin fan, I'm not complaining with that description. We could definitely see just how cute and eerie these games could be at the same time. And it all makes sense that they would be inspired by Tim Burton. Sure, maybe they don't have those big old eyes like Tim Burton characters. Okay, maybe they do, okay? But the point is, that's so cool. We did not know about this kind of inspiration, but it's really nice to have a sort of confirmation as to what the baseline was for these Pikmin games, or at least part of it. There we go. Tim Burton. And we have some images that look really creepy. Like, sure, this is all concept art, so it's not like it was gonna look like that in the final game to begin with. But what if it did? Can you imagine a Pikmin game that leaned more on the eeriness than the cuteness? Maybe that's Pikmin 2. But still, just gaze upon these concept arts. They're so unique. Like, it's new Pikmin concept art. How is this not exciting? And speaking of Tim Burton's style, this little piece of concept art here looks exactly like it could fit in well with one of his movies, like The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I know he didn't direct that movie, but he did have a part in it. You get what I'm saying? So, wow, it's all making sense now. We have little names for them. Buttercup, Feverfew, Lily, Pink Cushion Flower. What? Like, that's so cool. This looks more like indie game territory if Pikmin did look like this. Because I feel like indie games have significantly more style and freedom in their style than big games. Not to say the Pikmin games are devoid of any style. But still, it's like, I usually see this kind of darkness in indie type titles. And while we're on the topic of concept art, look at this. It's the world's first ever concept art for Pikmin. It looks nothing like what we have now, which I'm so grateful for. I mean, these guys look like they have no personality, which is what they said in the interview, these developers, that the reason they didn't go with this design is because it lacked any sort of character. And I can see why, just a little circle with more circles. The reason for the designs looking like this early on for Pikmin is because Nintendo themselves wanted the Pikmin designs to look as visible as possible. And I guess they were right in that department. There's no way you can miss that little pink circle on top of this thing's head. Speaking of making the little Pikmin look as visible as possible to the player, apparently, according to Miyamoto himself, that's why Pikmin have leaves on their heads. This is the first I've heard of that reasoning. If that was already out there, then forgive me, but yeah, I didn't know that up until now. And now you do too if you didn't. This last thing I want to talk about is the little gameplay loop that the developers had in mind for the Pikmin franchise from the beginning. I guess you can think of it as like the United States Constitution of the Pikmin world. The Constitution of PNF 404, if you will. And what interested me is, what is that UFO doing there? And how does that fit into the loop early on? Is this like an early concept art of the onions the Pikmin would come out of? Or maybe, better yet, early concept art for the captain's ships? Is this what the SS Dolphin was supposed to look like early on? Who knows? It just caught my eye. What do you think this UFO was supposed to be? Let me know down in the comments below. If you're interested in reading the entire interview, I've linked it down in the description below. And if you'd like to see some more Pikmin content in your YouTube homepage, then drop a like and subscribe, because that's all I basically talk about on this channel. Have a good one.